Good morning to all of you. This is Raju sir, lecture on arches of foot. Arches of foot topic is divided in under two headings, 1 and 2. As we have experiencing every day in daily life, walking, running, jogging, everything needs the foot. Foot, even while walking on the seashore, you would have observed footprints or your own footprints which are lacking the completeness, like hand prints are complete, whereas the footprints are incomplete. That incompleteness is because of arches, and usually we get why footprints are not complete. Footprints are not complete due to the arches of the foot. Now, the question usually asked in the examination: describe the factors maintaining the importance of arches of the foot with its importance in detail. So better not to confuse with the arterial arches. And the objectives of today's lecture are the functions of the foot and peculiarities of foot and formation of arches of the foot in detail. And as you know, the functions of the foot, the why the arches are there, the slide explains in detail. Spread the body weight to the weight bearing points of the sole, like the example heel, balls of the toes, primarily those of first and fifth toes and lateral border of the sole. They serve as a shock absorber during the bound by their spring-like activity. The concavity of the arches protects the nerves and vessels of the sole. The peculiarities of lower limb, if we observe, the arches of foot is one of the peculiarity developed. The arches of the foot serve as elastic springs for efficient walking, running, jumping, and supporting the body weight as well. The bony alterations are associated with the maintenance of the arches of the foot. The ligaments form the elastic arches of the foot. So now we understand easily that the ligaments are the tying beams, or the ligating structures are the ligaments, and there are the bony alterations for various associated maintenance of the arches. The presence of arches make the sole concave, that we already studied. The deep fascia helps in maintaining the longitudinal arches of the foot. This is one of the key point here. The ligaments in the deep fascia plays very important role, and the arches support body weight and propel the body in front. The phalanges do not take part in forming the arches. Phalanges do not take part in forming the arches at all. Now, the arches, overview of the arches of foot, we can see there are two longitudinal arches and transverse arches as well. Then two longitudinal arches, one is on the medial side, another one is on the lateral side. The transverse arches, anteriorly complete one, we call it as, and posterior one is incomplete. So now we learn in detail the anterior one, why it is complete, and the posterior one is why it is incomplete. And if the foot has formed by a single bone, definitely it cannot adapt itself for uneven surfaces. And the propulsion of depends completely on gastrocnemius and plantaris and the soleus. So to prevent this, our body consists of, or the arches of foot consist of the small bones as well as multiple joints, helps in adapting on uneven surfaces. Long and small flexors of the foot assist in propulsive movements as well. The proportional distribution of body weight and the axial segmental lever protects the vessels and nerves from the compression axial springboard as well. Body weight distribution is in the form of 120 lbs and 60 lbs each foot, and 60 lbs talus, 30 lbs calcaneus, and posteriorly 30 lbs head of the metatarsal bones anteriorly. 6 bearing points in metatarsal bones. First has second sesamoid, 2 sesamoid bones, 5 lbs each, and 5 lbs pressure each on second to fifth metatarsal bones. And the arches, we know that arches of foot and the medial longitudinal arches. These are the bones, various bones contributing for the arches. The medial longitudinal arch is composed by the calcaneum, talus, navicular, 3 cuneiforms, and 3 medial metatarsals only. I repeat, the medial longitudinal arch is composed by the calcaneum, talus, navicular, 3 cuneiforms, and medial 3 metatarsal bones. Now we can observe in this diagram, the calcaneum is there, medial side bones. The axis, main point to remember is that axis pass to the second toe of the foot. The calcaneum you can observe, then talus you can observe, the navicular bone and the cuneiform bone. First cuneiform bone you can observe, the remaining lateral are there, two are there. The medial longitudinal arch higher and important than the lateral one. Talar head is a keystone here. Talar head is the keystone of this arch. Then the tibialis anterior are attached to first metatarsal and medial cuneiform strength for this arch. So definitely the tibialis anterior plays a very important role. And the fibularis longus or peroneus longus tendon pass laterally to this arch, providing the support. You can observe this with the peroneus longus, which is going to insert on the base of the first metatarsal. Then the tibialis anterior, also you can observe from this diagram, tibialis anterior tendon. Then the lateral longitudinal arch is composed by the calcaneum. Again, the calcaneum is repeated, you have to remember, the cuboid and lateral two metatarsals. It is characteristically low and just about touches the earth. It is involved in receiving and supporting the body weight during walking and running. And this is the lateral side, you can observe the calcaneum and the metatarsal, fifth metatarsal, the fourth as well. Then the cuboid bone you can observe. So now it is repeat. The lateral longitudinal arch is composed by the calcaneum, cuboid, and two lateral metatarsals. Then the lateral longitudinal arch continuation flatter than the medial longitudinal arch compared to the higher. Medial one is higher when compared to the lateral one. Rests on the ground during standing, and it is made up of calcaneus, cuboid, and two metatarsals. The transverse arches, the next two transverse arches, anterior one and the posterior one. The heads of the metatarsals create the anterior transverse arch. So I repeat, heads of the metatarsals create the anterior transverse arch. It's a whole arch because during standing position, the heads of the first and fifth metatarsals come into contact to the earth and create this two ends of the arch. So definitely why we are calling it as a complete one, it connects both ends on the earth, or it is in contact with the earth, medial end as well as lateral end. So it is a complete arch. Posterior transverse arch, posterior transverse arch is composed by greater parts of the tarsus and metatarsus. It's an incomplete arch because only its lateral end enters into contact with all the earth during standing position. It creates only half of the dome in a single foot. The entire dome is composed when both feet are brought together. The transverse arch you can observe. This is a very nice diagram to get the view of the transverse arches. So this is one. These are the metatarsals. Next, the transverse arch continuation run from side to side. It is formed by cuboid cuneiforms bases of metatarsals, and medial and lateral parts of a longitudinal arch act as pillars. Tendons of peroneus longus and tibialis anterior also. The differences between the medial and lateral longitudinal arches. Medial longitudinal arches formed by more bones and more joints, formed by less bones and less joints by lateral longitudinal arch. Medial longitudinal arch characteristic feature is resiliency, and whereas the lateral longitudinal arch characteristic feature is rigidity. Medial longitudinal arch is higher and more mobile, and whereas the lateral longitudinal arch is lower and less mobile. Medial longitudinal arch involved in propulsion during locomotion, initiating the next step during walking. And the lateral longitudinal arch involved in receiving and supporting the body weight. The variables keeping the arches of the foot. The apparatus utilized to support a stone bridge are shape of the bones, first one, and the intersegmental ties or stapling the structures, and the slings and the tie beams. Now, medial longitudinal arch pillars are the medial half of the calcaneum creates the posterior column of the medial longitudinal arch. The heads of the medial three metatarsals create an anterior column of the medial longitudinal arch. When pillar means definitely it consists of columns, anterior column and posterior column. This is defined on the medial longitudinal arch. Whereas the lateral longitudinal arch, posterior column of the lateral longitudinal arch composed by the lateral tubercle of the calcaneum, and the anterior column is composed by the heads of the lateral two metatarsals. So it's clear that in both calcaneum is there, the medial part of the calcaneum is involved in medial longitudinal arch, and the lateral part of the calcaneum is involved in the lateral longitudinal arch. What about the summit? Talus located medial longitudinal, regarding medial longitudinal arch. Talus is located at the peak of the arch, For that reason, the talus is the keystone of the arch. For that reason, the talus is the keystone of the arch. And the peak level of the lateral longitudinal arch is located at the level of articular facets on the calcaneum at the level of subtalar joint. Subtalar joint. The joints, medial longitudinal arch. The key joints of the medial longitudinal arch are the talocalcaneonavicular and subtalar joints. I repeat, talocalcaneonavicular and the subtalar joints are the key joints for the medial longitudinal arch, whereas the lateral longitudinal arch consists of the primary joint of the lateral longitudinal arch is the calcaneocuboid joint. I repeat, calcaneocuboid joint is the primary joint for the lateral longitudinal arch. The medial longitudinal arch muscular supports tibialis anterior and posterior, peroneus longus, flexor digitorum longus, flexor hallucis longus, intrinsic muscles of foot. Then the lateral longitudinal arch, peroneus longus, flexor digitorum longus, and the intrinsic muscles of foot as well. Whereas transverse arch get the muscle supports, peroneus longus and tibialis posterior. I repeat, muscular support for the medial longitudinal arch is the tibialis anterior and posterior medial side muscles, and peroneus longus from lateral to medial it is contributing, and flexor digitorum longus and flexor hallucis longus intrinsic foot muscles as well. Lateral longitudinal arch, peroneus longus, flexor digitorum longus, intrinsic foot muscles. Then the transverse arch is getting the muscle support from the peroneus longus and tibialis posterior. And the ligamentous support, plantar ligaments, medial ligaments of the ankle joint, plantar ligaments for the lateral longitudinal arch, whereas for the transverse arch, plantar ligaments, deep transverse metatarsal ligaments are the main ligamentous support. And the bony support, shape of the bones of the arch is very important. And the lateral for longitudinal arch, lateral longitudinal arches for all the bones, the main reason for making these arches or the shape, one of the main support, bony shape, is that wedge-shaped bones of the arch. Bones are in wedge shape. If we observe the tarsals, they are in wedge shape. Then the other, any support, the plantar aponeurosis is commonly supporting for all plantar aponeurosis. Just then the medial longitudinal arch, I repeat once again, medial longitudinal arch bones, 9 bones are contributing for the medial longitudinal arch, calcaneum, talus, navicular, 3 cuneiforms and 3 metatarsals. Whereas for the lateral longitudinal arch, only 4 bones, calcaneum, cuboid, lateral 2 metatarsals. The apex is formed by the talus in medial longitudinal arch, whereas the lateral longitudinal arch apex is formed by the cuboid one. Anterior pillars are first, second, third metatarsals for medial longitudinal arch, and 2 sesamoid bones and the head the first metatarsal even. Then lateral longitudinal arch gets the anterior pillars like heads of the 4, 5th metatarsals. Posterior pillars are the calcaneum for both, and the summit is formed by the superior talar articular surface for medial longitudinal arch and the subtalar articular surface for the lateral longitudinal arch. And the features of the medial longitudinal arch, I repeat, higher, mobile, more resilient, rests only anteriorly and posteriorly on the ground, concerned elastic propulsion during walking. Then there are lateral longitudinal arch lower in position compared to the medial one, less mobile, less resilient, rests highly on ground, concerned with support in standing. In the maintenance, no bony, there is no bony maintenance, and the ligaments, plantar aponeurosis, spring ligament, interosseous, tendons, peroneus longus, tibialis anterior, tibialis posterior, muscles, short big toe muscles, lateral longitudinal arch, ligaments, plantar aponeurosis, plantar ligament, and long and short. Then the tendons, flexor hallucis longus as well, muscles, short little toe muscles, keystone talus, keystone is cuboid for the lateral longitudinal arch. Tie beams, plantar aponeurosis, short muscle, flexor hallucis, and plantar aponeurosis and little toe short muscles for the lateral longitudinal arch. The slings, tibialis anterior, tibialis posterior, and medial ligament of the ankle. Whereas the slings for the lateral longitudinal arch are the peroneus longus and peroneus brevis. The cementing or the plastering structures are the spring ligament and the insertion of tibialis posterior mainly. And for the lateral longitudinal arch, the long and short plantar ligaments. These are the structures, various structures we could observe. Spring ligament can be observed here. Then the remaining structures like the calcaneum and the flexor hallucis longus tendon and the tendon of tibialis posterior. The flexor hallucis longus tendon and the tibialis anterior tendon. Then here also the remaining bones like the calcaneum, peroneus longus tendon, and the cuboid bone, lateral one. The 4th and 5th metatarsals and the peroneus brevis and peroneus longus tendons can be observed, cuboid bone as well. And thank you very much for today's lecture, for attending and listening carefully. We'll continue with the second lecture of the arches of the foot in the next session. Thank you very much.